Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. I wanted to go ahead and do a what's in my pencil bag video for you guys today, just to showcase some of my most used products. So this is my pencil bag that I bring with me whenever I am going out to journal or bullet journal or something like that. So this is the Nomadic's PE09 flap type pencil case, and this was actually a gift from my sister back in 2022. I really like this pencil bag just because of how many different compartments it has. It has this large pocket that we'll dig into first, and then just this small pocket up front, and then it, based off of the name, then it flaps open, and then it has another hidden compartment under here. So it's really nice, and it holds a lot of stuff, which is one thing that's very important for me. I like to come prepared whenever I am journaling or going somewhere. So let's go ahead and crack this thing open, shall we? Alright, so moving into the first compartment here, this is where the majority of the items live. So you can see a lot of pens in there. So I'll go ahead and just kind of walk you through what's in here. First, just to start off, I do have one pencil in here. This is the Papermate Clear Point 0.5 millimeter pencil. It is much loved, very used. I've had this for several years now. As you can see, the clip has snapped off. The eraser is just about done. There are a bunch of chew marks from my cat on the tip here from chewing on it, which is just great. So a lot of history with this simple pencil, but I just like to keep this in my bag just to do sketches and maybe some doodling, but mainly for sketching things out before I go in with ink. Next, I have a permanent marker, an alcohol marker. This is just a normal Sharpie, the fine point type in the black. I don't use this very much in my journals just because it does bleed through the pages, but I like to have a Sharpie on hand for when I'm out and about, just in case I do need it for something like labeling something or marking on something. So I just have one of these in here. So moving on to brush pens. This first one here is actually a water brush. This one is a Sakura water brush from a watercolor palette that I had a very long time ago. However, I no longer have the watercolor palette, but I do really like this water brush. So I have a few of these, but I like to keep one in my bag. So the next brush pen that I have in here is actually a Zebra Mildliner brush pen. So this is just in the mild gray. One end, then it has the brush, and the other end, then it has the fine point or the bullet nib. And I like to just have a gray one just to switch things up a little bit and add some hand lettering if I'm on the go for some headers or titles. It's just nice to have one of these to either hand letter with or to add shadows to doodles and whatnot. So I like having this gray one just for some monochromatic touches. The next brush pen that I have is the Tombow Fudenosuke hard tip, and this is just the black version. This is really nice just for when I pretty much the same reasons as the Zebra Mildliner, just for headings or hand lettering titles and whatnot. It's just really nice for that, just to kind of spice up any journal entries that I'm doing on the go. And then the last brush pen that I have in here is actually the Sakura Pigma brush pen, and the reason why I have this one and the Tombow Fudenosuke one is because the Tombow one, if you're not familiar, this one has a very fine nib to it, and so this one is very firm and very easy to hand letter with. However, the Sakura Pigma brush pen, it's a little larger, longer, and it's very flexible, and so it is a little bit more difficult to control when you are hand lettering with it. So I like to have this one on hand for when I want to color in larger blocks of just black ink so that I can go over it with white gel pens or gel pens that'll show up on black paper or black ink. So kind of for that chalkboard effect. So I like to have one of these for that reason. And since I've already been talking about the Sakura Pigma pens, then I'll go ahead and just move right along to the fine liners that I have in here. I do have several of them. They're all different sizes. So here are the Sakura Pigma Microns that I like to keep in my pencil bag. I do like to keep a variety of different tip sizes just because I do find that I need a specific size depending on what I'm doing. For instance, when I'm setting up my bullet journal, I do like to, for the boxes in my bullet journal, then I do like to use maybe like a 0.8 or a 0.5, these thicker tips for the thicker outlines. However, for numbering like the days of the week or the days of the month, and I like to use like a finer tip like the 0.1. And then the 0.3 and 0.2, they're a little bit more for maybe like doodling, like if I went in and hand lettered something and I wanted to go ahead and just outline it, then I'll go in with the 0.3 or the 0.2 depending. And then I also have this very, very fine one, the 0.05, and this is specifically the one that I use for my daily doodles just because it is in such a tiny little box on the journal page, and so I like to go in with a very fine point pen to add all the details to my doodles. Alright, so the last category that I have in here are gel pens. Gel pens are definitely my go-to when it comes to journaling. As far as for actual writing and journaling, then I do prefer gel pens just because of the opacity and the smoothness, the consistency, the colors. I just prefer how it feels to write with gel pens. These are not in my pencil bag usually. Sometimes I'll have them just as a backup. Like for instance, I do have one of these in here because I'm almost done with the one that I'm currently using, but these are the two pens that I use most often. And sometimes I will have backups of these when I am running low, but the Pilot G2 0.38 pen here, the retractable one, this is the one that I like to keep in my dump journals pen loop. So this one's the one that I usually journal with just because of the ease of the retractable pen, and it's also affordable, and I've been using the same body for years. I've just been ordering the refills and refilling them every time I run out of it, so it's been very nice to have. And then for my actual bullet journal, then I keep this Uniball Signo DX in the 0.28 millimeter size. So it's slightly thinner in point than the Pilot G2 one. And the reason why I like to keep two different pens is because I like to keep this 0.28 one with my bullet journal just because I do have more of a restriction or a confined area that I like to write my tasks and information in, and so that's why I prefer the finer point. But if I'm just doing normal journaling, then the 0.38 one is just fine for me. But yeah, these are also my go-tos. These are the two that I keep in my dump journal and bullet journal pen loops. So I would consider them just as important as everything else that is in my pencil bag. Moving on, I have one of these Uniball Signo broads. This is just in the white. I've tried a number of different white gel pens over the years, and I just keep coming back to this one. It is a very thick point. It is a 1.0 millimeter size. So very thick for what I'm used to, but it is also very opaque and very smooth. So I just keep coming back to this one. As you can see, I'm running pretty low on it, so I will need to swap this one out for a new one soon. But I love having one of these on hand. It goes very nicely with when I create like a box or something with this brush pen, and just having like a large area of the black color, and then I'll go in and write on top of it with this white gel pen, and it just creates a very interesting and chalkboard-like effect on top of it. So very nice if you want to add some visual interest to your journal. Now, the rest of these, I'm pretty sure, yes, as you can see, I have all of my Zebra Sarasa vintage color gel pens in here. Some of you may have seen it, but I did do a pen review on these gel pens. It was the first pen review that I did on my channel, and there's a reason for that. I absolutely love these. They are my, aside from the black Uniball Signo DX and the Pilot G2 gel pens, these are my absolute favorites. They just add a very beautiful, subtle pop of color to your journaling, and it's not overbearing, it's not too shocking in your face or anything. So I absolutely love these. I can't just have one in my bag, I have to have all of them because I have a problem. So yeah, I love these very much, if you can't already tell. Alright, so that's everything for this large compartment. As you can see, it fits a lot of pens in there, which is crazy. Alright, now moving on to this flap up here. There's only one thing in here, and there's a reason for that. It is just a little pocket for my kneaded eraser. And one of the reasons why I wanted this pencil case in particular is because the one that I had before, it didn't have another pocket for just my kneaded eraser. And I don't like storing this with other things, just because it does get on my pens, it gets on my accessories and whatnot. It leaves little gray rubbery eraser residue on them. So I like to keep this completely separate in its own little pocket, which is up here. This is the only eraser that I have aside from the one that's on my mechanical pencil. However, I do prefer these kneaded erasers. This one specifically, I believe, is from Prismacolour, but I've had this for years. I love using kneaded erasers just because I really don't like eraser dust. I try to avoid it as much as possible. Just because I'm not always near a trash can and I don't like having the dust all over the place. So I prefer to go with a kneaded eraser. It's gentler on the paper as well, and it's ideal for paintings, like when you're watercoloring and you go in and sketch your painting out first. Then it's very nice to just have one of these to kind of like roll over the lead just to pick up some excess lead, but it doesn't completely erase everything, which is very nice. And then it also doesn't affect the paper like how some other erasers do, the ones that create the dust. Sometimes those can kind of smooth out the watercolor paper, which you don't want. So this is a lot better for when you're doodling and sketching on watercolor paper and you just want to go over and pick up some of the lead. And this is also, I use this on a daily basis as well. Just when I am doing my daily doodles, I go in with a sketch first with pencil, and then I go in and ink everything, and then I just erase everything once that's dried. So there is that. So like I said, that's the only thing in this front pocket here. And now let's go ahead, and there's some Velcro here, so it might be a little loud, but we'll go ahead and open this flap and I'll show you what's on the other side. Alright, so it just opens like this, and then it has another compartment here that's divided with this mesh. So as you can see, I just have a few bulldog clips and a few paper clips. These are some really cute ones that I got with my notebook therapy journals that I have not used yet, but just figured I would keep them in here in case I needed them. But yes, I do have a couple of different sized bulldog clips just to hold my journals open if I need to. And then I also have some extra lead. I have a correction tape runner here. I don't recall what brand this is. I just bought like this huge pack of them on Amazon a very long time ago, and it's just something that I like to have on hand for when I make mistakes in my journals and just want to cover it up. And then I also have a Tombow Mono Adhesive tape runner. This is very nice for when I want to paste paper into my bullet journal or my journals. And then the last few items here, I have a little clear ruler that just fits nice and snug in here. I don't use this very often, but it is nice to have sometimes. And then I have a pair of scissors that has one of these protective sleeves on it, which is very nice and handy. But yeah, I just like to have a pair of scissors on the go. You never know when you'll need a pair of scissors to cut something off. So yeah, there is that. Alright everyone, well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and enjoyed taking a look at what pretty much are my essential pens and accessories that I like to have on me at all times when I am journaling. Let me know if you have any questions, comments, any video recommendations. I would love to hear from you down below. And please like and subscribe if you enjoy videos like this and would like to see more content like this. And yeah, again, thank you so much for watching today's video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.